Hello and good afternoon, everybody. I'm so glad to be back. I have taken a few days off just due to heavy schedules and traveling and whatnot, but I'm here today with episode 54, and today we're going to talk about stop hounding your network. Stop trying to convince everybody. Stop selling everyone, right? How to get people to be interested in your product or service without hounding them, because that is... Not only do you not want to be on the hounding end, but you don't want to be the hounded. So we're going to just teach you a couple core principles today to wrap your mind around to make your conversations more comfortable. So before we get started, as always, I would love for you guys to never miss an episode. I do upload them every few days. They are all at YouTube, and my direct link is youtube.com/create wealth with Tara, or you can just go to youtube.com and you can just search Tara Wilson Lunch and Learn. Anyway, so today we're going to talk about stop selling. So, before we go into exactly some tactics, it's really important to know a couple things. Number one is selling is nothing more than giving people enough information so that they can make a decision, right? So, decision whether, yes, they want to buy your product or service, or yes, they want to, join you as a business partner, or no, they're not interested. So, it's just giving them enough information to make that decision, right? So, is the product or service something they would want to use, right? Is the business something that they would want to pursue, right? But you got to start and the second thing is you got to realize is that money comes from people, and this is a people business, and you have to, number one, like people. You have to be liked by people. And you want to be, you want to help people. So money comes from people. It doesn't come from banks, right? Banks are just holding the money for the people. It doesn't come from companies. What is a company? Company is people. So, to the degree which you make people feel comfortable and show them value is to the degree which they want to help you and support you. So, a lot of people just get into network marketing and they don't listen to their upline, and they watch a video. They're all excited about the video, and they start, calling everyone, oh, I'm excited about this, service. I'm excited. Oh my gosh, you have to hear about this, or this great, makeup, or this great weight loss shake, or this whatever. They start just going into selling mode. And they wonder why their friends and family will literally stop answering their calls, right? They're going to go into we call it the prospect protection program, because people don't want to be hounded and sold. And it's like, you've got to connect with people. You've got to, probably one of my favorite books of all times for network marketing is not a network marketing book. It's a book about how to win friends and influence people. You want a great book that'll give you skills. Andrew Carnegie, you have to read that book, or is it Dale Carnegie? How to Win Friends and Influence People. This is a people industry. So I'm going to give you a couple examples of ways to approach people, and they're all across the spectrum from I'm a complete delinquent, born poor, complete idiot. My family thinks I'm just the black sheep idiot, to I went to Harvard and I'm an MBA and I'm a doctor, whatever. There's a spectrum of people, right? Give me a like if you think, woo, is there a spectrum, right? And the the good news is a people business. The bad news is it's a people business, and there is a spectrum of people. And so, a lot of times people say, well, I can't do this because I'm young, I grew up poor, I grew up uneducated, your product sounds too complicated, my family would never believe that I knew all that information, or your technology, or no one would ever think I was a success because I've always been a failure, I failed in school, I've quit, I've gone job to job, right? That is some people's story. Now, the good news is anyone can do this industry. It's also the bad news, but the good news is you could always have a fresh start. And remember that people make buying decisions not with their head, but with their heart. It is with their head, technically. It's called the limbic system. But people make decisions based on how they feel, right? Have you ever gone into a car dealership and one time you're like, I would never buy from this place or this person, and other times you're like, here's my money, just give me the car, right? And that's because of the way people make them feel. So honesty just branding, right? So you have your list of people. Yes. Should you make a list? Yes. You should have a list of all your friends and all your family and your network. This is to give you a kickstart on your business. But let's be clear, guys, just in the United States alone, there are 322 million people. So even if your 100 friends and family don't buy your product or service or don't join your business, does not mean you don't have a shot. It just means that you have to learn other ways to talk to people. That's it. So yes, the steps, if I could give you the basic steps of network marketing 101 is, yes, join your company, start a list, and start calling people to invite them. Now we have whole lunch and learns on inviting. We have them on building rapport. We have them on a million things, but you got to start and look into you. Who are you and why do you want to do this, right? And why do you want your family to hear about this? So instead of saying, hey mom, like let's pretend you've got this bottle of pills and it's supposedly the greatest pill on earth, and you're like, hey mom, I got this bottle of pills, you got to hear about this. All of a sudden your mom is like, what are you selling, right? Instead of going to your story, which is, hey mom, I've been a screw up all my life. No, this is obviously not my story. I'm just giving you the spectrum, right, of the worst situation. You've started at the bottom or you're on top and you just want a career change, right? There's a spectrum of people out there. So, hey mom, I know that I've not amounted to much and I've disappointed you and dad and I failed out in high school. I have gone from job to job, but you know what? I found something that I'm really passionate about and I'm pretty excited. And look, I'm not asking you to be my customer. I'm not asking you to join me. I'm just asking you to just support me in my new business. And would you just support me with love and if you do see anything that you'd like to be a customer of, if you really feel like it would be a value to your life, of course that would help me. And of course, if you know anyone or you wanted some extra money on the side and this sang to your heart like it does mine, of course I would want to partner. The reason I'm here is I got this great team of people that are going to teach me how to do it, and I'm going to learn, and I would love to learn along with you. Doesn't matter, right? But if nothing else, mom, here's my product or service, and give them a list of things. These are the people who would like my product, right? So if it's weight loss, people that are overweight, people that are exercising, people who are getting married, people who are going on vacation, people who are unhealthy. If it's makeup, women, people who, always look nice, people who are professionals, right? College students, people that go out to clubs, like who's your customer, right? Know who your customer is so that you can give your network a couple of quick ideas saying, hey, these are my customer. And guess what? A lot of the times the person that you're talking to might say to themselves, well, sounds like I could be your customer, right? And just say, hey, look, I just want you to support me. This is what I'm doing. This is why I'm doing it. We have whole episodes on how to tell your story, but you can't go just for the selling. It's like there's nothing worse than somebody who goes to a meeting and saw an hour-long presentation or a half-hour-long presentation or has been, watched a tool and has been Googling for the last 48 hours, all of a sudden so excited, and they're trying to give their family the cliff notes on a 1-minute phone call. That's not the way to do network marketing. Invite them to take a look at the information by telling them your story of why you're doing it. See, it's not about them. They didn't get into network marketing, you did. And it's important for them to understand why you're doing it and why they should support you, right? If you're candid with people, so here's a spectrum. Like, I'm a screw up, I've failed at everything in life, but you know what? I want to get my life back on track and I'm starting a business. And yes, I'm looking for customers and I'm looking for business partners. And most importantly, I'm looking for referrals. So mom, sister, brother, cousin, coworker, friend, co-junkie, whatever it is, co-dropout, will you just take a look at some information? And if you see a way that you could support my new venture in any way, that would mean the world to me. Because now it goes from you selling them a product to you supporting someone wanting to change their life. And golly, if you can't get mom to support you wanting to change your life, we need to talk about the relationship with mom, right? So now let's move a little along on the spectrum. You know, I just grew up, maybe you went to junior college and then got married, and now you're a stay-at-home mom with 4 kids, right? And for the last 12 years, you've been doing nothing but nursing, being pregnant, you know, cleaning diapers, and you're going crazy. But now the youngest one is in school and you have some time on your hand, and things have always been a little tight in your family, and you get invited and you start a business, and now you're like, oh my gosh, I want to help out with the bills. I want to do something, right? So you go to your family, your friends, it's, again, your list, your 100 people, your 200 people, and you just say, hey, you know, it's Tara. You know, I've been a stay-at-home mom for the past 12 years, which has been the most rewarding job. But, you know, your background, what you didn't like about it. But gosh, I feel like I haven't been contributing to the bills. You know, we've been tight. We've racked up debt. And now I have more time on my hands, and the kids are getting easier. They're getting older. And so I decided to start my own business. And now I am, you know, looking, I just want people to know, right? So best friend, you know, I want you to look at the information and see if there's any way you can support me. These are the 3 ways you can support me. By being a customer, if you see something, I don't want you to buy it. Like if it's jewelry, you're not going to ask your dad to buy jewelry, right? Well, actually you could. You'd be like, can you buy jewelry for mom? If it's makeup, you're probably not going to call, you know, the best man in your wedding and say, hey, I got into a makeup business, right? So know your customer, know who your end target is, and just say, you know, hey, I got into this business. Now, if it is your best man, just say, hey, maybe your wife could, maybe you can give the information to your wife, or maybe you guys can take a look at it. But anyway, I'm looking for support in 3 ways. Number 1, customers, and number 2, business partners, and number 3, referrals of the first 2. So there's no pressure for you to buy or join. In fact, the majority of people, let them know immediately off the hook, the majority of people will just be referrers, and that is what all it takes for me to be successful. And then, okay, so then let's go a little further on the spectrum is, you know, you're a Harvard or Stanford or Cal Berkeley, you know, honor student, you've had a great job, you've always made a multiple 6-figure income, but you're miserable. You know, you never see your family. Again, the story, and I'll give you the, I've probably done other episodes on this, but it's just a little different spin today, is your story is your background. Number 1. Number 2, what you didn't like about it. I got this from Eric Corey, by the way. Number 2, what you didn't like about it. Number 3, the solution you found. And number 4, why are you excited about the future, right? And so if you go straight to 3 of the solution you found, then you're like, service, product, buy. Then you go through that list of 100 people, you get a ton of no's. Well, most people don't last 3 to 5 phone calls. Forget that, right? You go through 10, you get 10 rejections, and you're done, right? But we're going to teach you how to take that list and turn it into gold, right? So, you know, I'm making a career change, and I loved my job. I had a great 6-figure income, but I never saw my family. I was always working. It was high pressure. You know, my health has suffered from it, and I just want to do something that really ignites my soul. So I started a business, and this is what I'm doing. And this is what I'm looking for. This is my customer. You know, this is a person who would want to be my customer. This is the person who might want to be partnered with me. And who do you know that would be one of those? So would you do me a favor? Just take a look at some quick information. Here's a video. For example, our video is 11 minutes. So tell them up front, this is an 11-minute video. This is exactly what you're going to see. This is why I see it. And then I want you to just think, who do you know who might be a good referral for me? So number 1 is you got to tell your story. You got to connect to people, because remember, money comes from people. If you're not connecting with people and you're just trying to extract the money out of them by convincing them that your gadget or widget or technology is the best on earth and they're crazy and stupid not to buy it, you're going to shut down your network. You got to go at them with a sense of, you got to get them, they got to be ready to support you. You got to go at them with heart. You know, this is who you are. This is why you're doing it. This is your story. This is why this is what your situation was, why you didn't like it, and why you've decided to change it. And then you tell them what direction you're changing it at them and what it means as, their friend or family member and how they can help. That, my friends, is how you go from being the guy that everyone ignores to being someone that just people respect. And all of a sudden, if you're that honest and you're like, yeah, I've been a total screw up all my life, Mom, I know that, you're probably going to put tears in the lady's eyes, right? Or, Dad, I know that you're disappointed in me, but I've made a career change and I just want you guys to support me. You don't have to buy from me, but just support me. Just be positive, and if you've got that negative uncle or brother-in-law, it's always the brother-in-law, it's always the uncle, right? I'm just kidding. It's Uncle Joe that tried Amway in 1960 and he didn't make any money. So he's going to just shoot down everybody's dreams of being an MLM, right? It's always the crazy relative that just ask him, say, you know what? I know I probably haven't always been impressive and I haven't been successful, but I'm just asking you to be positive, right? I mean, I don't sit there and bash your job, right? Don't bash mine. And if they continue doing it, just reduce the amount of time that you are with those people, right? They're always going to be those people. You just reduce the amount of time you're with them. I have a lot of family that I love very dearly that I spend next to no time because they just don't add love and light to my life in this such a small time on earth. Okay, so that's the first thing you got to know is you got to connect with people, and you got to get out from just trying to sell them. It's got to be about you, and sharing your passion, right? You share your passion, you're going to find other people that share a passion. Okay, so another way to increase your sales without hounding your network is to be a person of value to them. So let's say make a list of all the people that are in your network, right? If brother-in-law is a realtor, let him know, I'm going to support you in your real estate business. And when someone says, I need to buy or sell a house, I'm going to call you, or I'm going to have them call you, right? And I will just, would love the, reciprocal courtesy. And people, the law of reciprocity says when you do something for somebody, they want to do it back for you. So if you're, let's see if your sister is an esthetician, say, hey, if I hear someone say, I want a great facial or their skin's in bad condition, I'm going to say, oh, well, you've got to call my sister. She's an esthetician. If your best friend is an electrician and you need say, hey, you're on my list. You're my electrician. I'm going to call you. And anytime I hear someone say that they need an electrician, I'm going to recommend that they call you. And even if you don't ask for the, courtesy right back, guess what? If you keep branding yourself to your network in a very, professional and non-aggressive way, I promise you they will naturally do that, right? Especially with the day of social media. Everyone's watching, by the way. Everyone is watching on social media. So if all of a sudden you get into, let's say, makeup, and you've been referring people to your sister who's an esthetician, you don't think she's going to say, hey, call my little sister, she's in makeup? Or let's say that you're in weight loss and you've been referring people to your brother who owns an electrician business, or your best friend. You don't think that if one of his crew comes to him and says, man, dude, I went to the doctor yesterday, I'm 100 pounds overweight, he's not going to be like, oh, call my friend? Of course they are. So it's about building a network. And what happens though is a couple of things. Now it's okay to go from business to business, but since day one, in March of 2007, when I first joined my very first business, my entire tip of the arrow, my message to my friends and family is that I was getting into network marketing because I wanted to help people get healthy. So I've been only in wellness products. I didn't jump around from wellness to jewelry to makeup to technology to skincare to, apps to personal development to selling some kind of widget, that does whatever. There's a lot of great companies, but I've always branded myself as a wellness professional. So, it's not about just joining a company. I mean, I get offers and unsolicited offers every day. And they're like, oh, you would kill it. You'd make $200,000 your first month. I'm like, yeah, I probably would, because I know I'm good. Just kidding. I probably would. But I'm not passionate about what you're doing. Because here's the thing, guys, if people say, how do you stay motivated? I'm not motivated by money, because money comes and goes. I am passionate about helping people, and that's what gets me out of bed every day. I don't need a song of the day or a quote of the day, and I don't need my upline going, you can go. Motivation is not the paychecks that roll in. They roll in because of my passion. What motivates me is that the activities that I do and the way I do it results in people's lives changing. Does that make sense? So someone messaged Rachel Jackson and told her to stop messaging me during my lunch and learn. Just kidding. She's messaged me like 4 times. So my passion is what it gets me out of bed. That's what keeps me motivated. Motivation is when you love what you're doing and why you're doing it. So for example, you don't just do something because you can make money. You can make money at a lot of things. You got to do something that is going to keep you there for the long term. So I've branded myself as a wellness professional, right? And so now it's like more than ever today, at 10 years later, I have more friends and more contacts and more family members ordering from me today than ever I have in all of history. Why? Because my message has been congruent for 10 years. I have literally branded myself as a professional in health and wellness. Now, you can do that quickly. It doesn't take 10 years. I've been doing it for 10 years. But all I'm saying is, like, you just can't go out and try to be the jack of all trades. And people ask me all the time, oh, what about selling this product and this product? I'm like, which one are you going to talk about? You only have so many people. You're going to call your network and say, hey, I got this or this. I'm only half passionate about this, and I'm only half passionate about this, but you should be all the way passionate about one of them. That doesn't work. I have actually never met a network marketer in my entire career who has actually successfully built 2 different businesses at the same time. Now, there are some who have been in the industry who have created an income with a company and decided to change directions, and they leave that entire network in that company by itself, and they continue to pull a check, and they start something new over here because maybe they've outgrown this, or they don't like it anymore, or it's like whatever. That's one thing. But it's like, the analogy is trying to build a house with 2 houses with 1 pile of wood. You only have 1 network. You can't build 2 businesses with 1 network. Which one are you going to put them in? That's just, you got to, like, it takes enough time to be full time in this, like, to learn all the things that make you successful. Right? I have to learn all my compensation, my product, the company. I've got to learn, everything. That frequently asked questions. I want to know everything about it. And that's hard enough. I can barely get people to do that. And you want them to do that times 2? Don't ever do that. I don't even know how I got on that. But so it's not about hounding your network. It's not about, telling them you got to buy, or you're an idiot not to buy. Oh my gosh. So many people on Facebook have like this ego, this aura that basically says, if you don't buy from me, you're an idiot. Like, don't do that. Don't be that guy, by the way. Now, Facebook, social media, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat can be very viable tools. But again, it's not about selling. Like, I don't ever put your link on your wall. And we have a whole training on social media. But it's not about selling. It's about share story. So I may share my product story. I share stories all the time. I share stories about my business all the time, for sure. But I also give people value in between, right? It's not, don't make your news feed on any social media platform an infomercial. If you have 1,000 friends, do you realize all you're doing is advertising to those friends all day, every day? Like, it's okay to advertise them once in a while, or it's okay to share what you're doing, because people are watching, by the way. People come out of the woodwork and I'm like, what? They're like, I've been watching you for 16 months. I'm like, what? People are watching. But you got to be careful. Like, if it was your news feed, would you watch you, right? Would you follow you? If every day, all day, you just drone on about your product, and if you're missing out, like that would get boring, and it would get old very quickly. But if you're just sharing story after story after story after story of inspiration, one day somebody who's been watching will see that in the newsfeed and they'll think, wait, I am in that same situation as that person, whether it's a product or service technology or it's a business technology. Is that story is about me, and holy cow, what if I could have those same results? So there is a way to use social media to share your information without selling it. Create curiosity. Share stories about people who have had success in all the different spectrums, but don't throw up your link, because here's what happens. You throw up your link, they look at it and they're like, nope. And you don't even get the chance to tell them your story. And it's so funny because don't ever email people either. Oh, don't ever email people. Call people. I know calling is a lost art, but I'm still doing it. I can't wait to get people off of social media onto a phone call. However, I have signed up 7 people this month. It's February 14th, by the way. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. It is, so I have signed up 7 people. So one every 2 days. So every 2 days I'm enrolling someone. Now there are many people that I've enrolled, 6 customers so far this month and 1 distributor that I actually have not had a conversation with. There are people, because our tools are that good, right? And people are so busy that they're like, okay, you got my curiosity, give me the information. They watch the information. Okay, give me your link. So there are some people in such a hurry that like, give me the cliff notes, right? And you should know your target audience. But bottom line is, start branding yourself as a professional, which means if you're going to, you can't have Facebook for both, right? If you're going to look like a drunk slob idiot and you're going to go on rants and air your dirty laundry and be passive aggressive about your ex-boyfriend and his girlfriend and what they're doing and I can't stand passive aggressive aired laundry posts, by the way. Like, give me a love if you cannot stand it when people air their dirty laundry on Facebook. Like, call that person, write them an email, write them a text, but don't put it on Facebook. Oh, I hate passive aggressive on Facebook. That's my least favorite, by the way. Yeah, give me love. Yeah, give me a mad face, right? So you can't, be the town gossip on Facebook and then all of a sudden expect you to, everyone to view you as a professional, right? If you want to be looked at as a professional, you want to be treated as a professional, if you want to turn your life around, or if you want to get your image different, you've got to change all of it, right? Don't think you can use the same social media that you want to, talk about going to clubs every weekend and then go to your aunt and say, oh, you should look at me as a future 7-figure earner. Like, isn't congruent. So when you got to realize that you are your brand, and you are your brand at all times, every day, all day. And so if you really truly want to be a network marketing professional, which is one of the highest paid professions in the world, it has blessed me and my family beyond, you have got to step up your game in every area. And you have got to start being attractive to people. And when you're attractive to people, they are attracted to you and they will want to use your products. They will want to use your services and they want to partner up with you in business. So some of you, like John C. Maxwell said, it's not an even playing field. Some of you have further to go, but you can do that faster. Anyone can change their life at any time. So I don't know if there's a clock around here. I changed my scenery today. I was getting bored of being in my office. But I hope this is helpful. Drop a smiley face below if they found this helpful. And I'll just leave you with this analogy. Just pretend like your network is a room full of moths. Right? And you're like, what? So you're sitting in a room full of moths and let's say you have 123 people on your list and there's 123 moths flying around. All you guys are doing is going like this, trying to catch them, and they're scattering, right? Because you're going after them and they're running as fast as you can. But nobody likes to be chased. How do you catch a moth? You create a flame, you create a glow. And that glow in network marketing is you be attractive, you become professional, you become a person of value, you become a person that can be a resource to them. You can be a person that might be somebody that helped them in their life and their family and their business. And when you create a flame, the moths come to you. Be attractive and you'll never have to hound your network again. So I hope you found this helpful. And again, happy Valentine's Day, and make sure that you subscribe, youtube.com/Create Wealth with Tara, and never miss a lunch and learn wherever you are. Maybe it's a breakfast and learn, a lunch and learn, a dinner and learn, or go to learn before you go tonight. Thank you. And please share this free MLM training, generic free MLM training, with your friends and family, and hopefully it'll help you change your life and many others. So thank you guys, and have a wonderful Valentine's Day. Bye.